This is Sexy Funny Raw, where we talk all about the world of sex, from dating and relationships to the adult industry itself, answering all the questions you weren't even brave enough to ask Google. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sexy Funny Raw. I am your host, Sylvia Sage. I am back in my old studio. You guys, it's so nice to be here. A little bit of stability. And I do have a new guest, very good friend of mine. I was just on his podcast. Please welcome comedian Charles Greaves.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. It was so fun on your show last week. You have a very interesting concept.
Yes.
And it's parenting fails.
Parenting
basically.
fails.
Yeah.
And it's funny because people hear that and they're like, oh, you have a niche audience because it's all about I'm like, everyone has a fucking parent.
Yeah.
It's either with your kid or with your parents or even with your dogs. Like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't have kids. I did the show.
And it was dope.
Yeah. Just talk about my parents because, of course, we are kids.
We
People
all
forget
are.
it.
Yeah. And then the people are like, well, what if my parents weren't in my life? I'm like, perfect fail.
That's a fail. Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
That's the biggest one.
Did they leave you at the fire station? What the fuck happened?
Right.
The bad, good parent. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great concept.
Yeah.
And I think I have good and bad on both ends for mom and dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody makes mistakes. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I apologize to your parents now. She does make fun of you a lot. When it drops, do not come from my head. But no, it was a good time. I had a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, today we are going to talk about something that I don't think I have ever had a single guest in my 10 years of producing this show. You might be the only person who fits this title, which is why I thought we really had to go for it with you. Is keeping the spark alive in your marriage with having kids. I don't think I've had anybody that's married with kids on this show. I've had plenty of parents, but
no one was married with kids. I guess I'm rare in the comedy community.
You really are. And I have porn stars on here as well, and that's extremely rare for a porn star to be married with a child.
I would imagine so. But you know what? Before we get started, I brought this for you.
Oh, you brought me a gift?
Yes,
oh
yes.
My God.
Here you go. This is for you.
Oh, well, thank you. Oh, this is great.
That is my merch, but
this is
I wanted to
cute.
give it
This is amazing. I'm probably going to make it a crop top. Is that okay?
No, I'm cool with it.
Okay.
I'm cool with it. Whatever.
Thank you for this.
Yeah.
I love now I feel guilty that I didn't bring you a gift.
No, don't feel guilty.
Okay.
No one, look, out of 90 plus episodes, no one's ever brought me a gift, so it's fine.
Oh. All right. Well, now, next time, if anybody does Charles's show, you better bring him a goddamn gift.
Bring me a gift. Damn it.
Yeah.
Something.
All right.
All right. No, go ahead.
All right. First questions first. How long have you been doing comedy?
I've been doing it, I first stepped on a stage to do comedy in 2004.
Okay.
But I didn't really start taking it seriously until about 2010.
That's fair. I feel like I did the same. Stepped on some stages, did some open mics, didn't take it seriously for a few years because it's so hard to break
a lot
into.
Of work. It's a lot of work to get doing the open mics and it's just brutal. I was very fortunate. I went down when I was in college is when I first stepped on stage, and then I went home. I would always hang out at the comedy clubs.
Okay.
And for some reason I was accepted.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, no, this guy's funny, whatever. And I didn't, I wasn't even doing stand-up regularly, but they were like, no, it's cool. And I met a lot of cool people. So that's how I got my foot in the door.
Nice.
And then when I moved out here, I still needed the, the stage time or whatever.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine was like, you should take my friend Tom's class because, you're not doing it regularly. And I'm like, I don't need a stand-up class. But then I'm like, you know what? It's better than doing open mics. Because I was already, quote unquote, seasoned enough to be on stage on my own.
Right.
But I'm like, I'll take the class mainly to get the stage time.
Yeah.
And I had a great time. My friend Tom is a great dude. He, if anyone wants to take a stand-up class, it's definitely worth it.
It is.
Yeah. Tom Clark, he was fantastic. But I did his class mainly so I can get stage time without the judgment. So I was like, I don't need I did a couple open mics and I'm like, this sucks.
Well, the thing with open mics, if you don't know, it's really just other comics. There's really nobody in the crowd. So when you are on stage, no one is paying attention to you. They're doing their own shit. They're writing their own jokes. They might be talking or texting somebody. So if you don't record yourself in an open mic, for me, I think there's absolutely no reason to be there.
No.
Now, if you're going to record yourself and maybe just do your set full through like you would do it and say, fuck these other people, then maybe get a good recording out of it and see what you need to tweak and what you need to fix,
Yeah.
But Other than that, I'm with you. Like open mics are.
I need the reaction though.
Yeah,
I need the reaction. So
to see what's working.
The class was like, 4 or 5 weeks of just straight open mics.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? Let me just think of it in that way.
Yeah.
And I had a great time.
How is do you have like an audience there when you're doing that?
Well, it's just the other comics in the class.
Okay.
People who are striving to be a comedian.
But at least they're paying attention.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I'm interested in this class.
No, it's pretty dope. It was a good time.
Okay, so how long have you been married? Were you married before comedy or?
No. I was doing comedy since 2004, and my wife and I started dating in 2004.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So she was dating an open micer at the time.
Yeah. We were in college.
She loves you.
She
that
does.
girl loves you. That is a hard commitment right there.
We were in college, and it was her senior year, my super senior year, at Ithaca College, and we started dating, and she always thought I was funny, but she didn't know I had been stepping on stage to do this.
Okay.
So she had no idea. And, a couple months go by. She's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I'm going to be a comedian. Yeah. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be an actor and a comedian. She knew I wanted to be an actor. Mm-hmm. But she's like, I didn't realize that you wanted to do comedy as well. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And she saw me on stage for the first time. She's like, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. You really are into this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she funny?
She is not. She is funny in her own way. She's not a comedian funny, but she's funny. Yeah.
Okay.
She likes to laugh.
Okay. Does she keep you guys, like the spark is like there with you guys in laughter? Is that?
I mean,
or is that more you being the funny?
That's more me. Like I can't turn it off.
Yeah.
So I'm like always joking.
Yeah.
And it's part of the reason why I'm like, this is why I should be a comedian.
Yeah.
But she is easy. Like it's easy to make her laugh.
Oh, good.
So like on top of the fact that like I'm not patting myself on the back, but on top of being a good comedian, I have a great audience.
Yeah.
Because like I was like, I don't even gotta say shit.
Yeah.
Like I could just fart and she laughs. Like this is dope. Like so it was like a perfect fit.
I got it.
Yeah.
And then you have kids. One kid.
2 kids.
2. Okay.
Yes.
And how old are these kids now?
My son is 3 and my daughter's 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got a baby in there. I love it.
Yeah, he's a little one.
So is the oldest your daughter?
My oldest is my daughter.
Does she know what daddy does for a living?
Oh yeah, she does. You know what's crazy is when she was, I would say since she was born, I would go to like the Comedy Store and to Flappers, those 2 places early on when she was born, and I would have her with me.
Like on stage?
No, like I would have, like she would be, like my wife would come
in the green room,
and they were like, oh no, she could sit in the back, it's fine. And my daughter was great.
Aww.
She was quiet. She didn't say shit.
Wow.
She like sat with my wife and just watched me on stage.
Aww.
And sometimes I'm like, hey, don't, like, this set is not
for
cool
you.
For her.
I was about to ask. Yeah, I was gonna say. So, what is your comedy style?
Oh,
is
it's
it
filthy.
Okay.
Nah, that's not true.
Okay.
I am dirty, but I'm not like. It's funny because people say, are you a clean comic?
Yeah.
I'm like, I wash my ass every fucking day. What are you talking? Yes. And they're like, no, we know what you mean. And I'm like, all right, relax. I'm just kidding. I can be crass.
You're right.
Like I rub people the wrong way sometimes because I'll joke about, what it's like to give birth and shit. Like that whole experience. And like I tell a joke.
Has your wife seen that set?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
She loves it. She loves it because I tell a joke about when she gave birth and I not accidentally, but I didn't know. I was excited my first time there. I had a hard on the whole time.
No.
And it wasn't like I was turned on. It wasn't like, oh my God, like bloody vagina.
You were just excited?
I was just excited and I couldn't like hold it. Like I was like, oh my God, everything's like going crazy. And the worst part about it is it came when the doctor like had his hands inside. He's like looking at me. I'm like,
no.
Don't look at me right now. Don't look at me right now. Stop fucking looking at me. And he's like, don't you want to come see this? I'm like, I don't think I do.
I don't think I want to stand up right now.
I don't think I want to sit down. I want to stay. He's like, come. And then he like acknowledged the boner. I'm like, don't acknowledge it. Leave me alone. So like that's the whole joke. But
is this a common experience?
No, I have. That's funny. She said the same thing. She's like, did you look it up? I was like, I don't want to know if there's any other weirdos out there like me. Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, I don't know if it's weird. I mean, it is exciting. You're right. So that's an exciting moment. Your wife is naked from at least the waist down. So that's, I mean, that's,
but I mean, I wasn't even excited about that. I was just like,
maybe seeing her with a doctor.
No, God, no, that was the worst. Cause he like smiled at me. I'm like, don't smile in that, like, he gave you that look like, yeah,
I'm
motherfucker. Like, you can't do shit about me. You can't do shit. I'm gonna do this right now, and you have to fucking watch. And I'm like, oh, this motherfucker here.
Oh my God.
It was awful.
I'm gonna look it up. I need to know if that is a regular. But I wonder if half the men would even admit it.
No one's gonna admit that.
Yeah.
Like, I admit it because I thought it was funny as fuck.
It
but
is
I'm like,
funny.
And people are like, how? That's disgusting. I'm like, dude, like I said, I wasn't turned on. That's like, you know, when you're a kid and you get a boner for the first time, like, you don't know, it's just there, and you're like, what is this? That's the same shit.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what was going on. And my wife was like, you should look that up.
You really.
And I was like, I don't want to know if there's other weirdos out. Like, and then I go to a support group. I see a friend like, you too? Like, fuck. What is happening?
But it's kind of sweet. I don't know.
It was weird.
It is a weird, it's a weird concept to
it was
think
weird.
of.
But I mean, look, it was a crazy experience.
Yeah.
And I laugh at it to this day. I'm like, I have fun with it. It's cool. It like,
so
it
the
is what it
second
is.
time around, you were better?
So I was much better, but it was crazy because the doctor that was delivering my son was impatient as fuck. It was during COVID, and she
Did you be in the room then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but they had a lot of weird rules. So like, I could only leave the hospital once. So I had to make sure that my daughter was taken care of. So like, we drove her to the hospital, checked her in, and they're like, once you leave, you cannot, like, once you leave and come back, you can't leave again.
Got it.
And I was like, all right, so I have to make sure everything is situated. So I had somebody come and watch our dogs. I dropped my daughter off at a friend's house that I was like, look, you know, watch her until whatever. And they're like, no, you're good. And I gathered all of her clothes and everything and went to the hospital. And I'm like, all right, I know the rules or whatever. And I get in and they're like, we might have to do an emergency C-section. Oh. And the doctor was very, like I said, she was very impatient. She was like, we need to do this now. And I was like, hey, could you fucking calm down?
Was your wife in danger? Is that why she was?
Well, no. Like, what's crazy is, like, she was in labor for a while, and the doctor was asking questions like, was this a problem the first time? Like, when you were pushing and you couldn't get her out or whatever? And we were like, yeah, but the one doctor, he was like pushing on it and leaning, and she was like, doctors don't do that. And I was like, hold up, like, why are you funky right now?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is this attitude coming from? And then one of the nurses was like, oh, you guys, you're like the 13th baby today. And she's the only doctor on call until tonight. So
that's not my fault.
I'm like, exactly.
Right.
I was like, I didn't do that.
Right.
I was like, you don't want to be in this business, fucking don't do it. Like, why are you complaining? And I'm sure you're getting a lot of money, so shut the fuck up.
Right.
Like, calm down. This is what you signed up for.
Yeah.
Delivering babies. But she was so angry. And she was like, let's just get the baby out. And I'm like, calm down. I was like, this was similar to the first time, although my daughter's heart rate didn't drop. Like, my son's heart rate dropped. Shit. So like, oh no, we got to cut him out. I was like, I just wanted you to try. You know, because every time my wife would bear down the push, they're like, oh, the heart rate's dropping. Was this common? Like, did this happen the first time? Because she's got like a rare condition.
Okay.
And it's called exercise-induced anaphylaxis. Very weird, I know, but when she exerts herself, like too much exercise, she'll have anaphylactic shock.
Oh, like just in life in general, not during the childbirth.
Not during child. That's in general. She has this thing.
Oh, wow.
So
never heard of this.
Yeah, it's very rare. So when she gave birth the first time, we told the doctor, and he was like, just in case, because your heart rate does, get high during childbirth, you are breathing heavy. Let's give you Benadryl while you're delivering. So she had a IV drip of Benadryl while she fell asleep.
I was going to say, I would fall immediately asleep.
Every time she pushed, and they were like, stop pushing. She's like, okay.
Oh my God.
And they were like, can you wake her up? I'm like, when she's ready to push, I'll wake her up. Every time. I kid you not. I wish I had a video because it was the most. I've never seen someone fall asleep so fast. They're like, "Can you push Megan?" And she bear down. They're like, "All right, stop." I'm like, holy fuck.
That's me on Benadryl too, though. I can't even make it 20 minutes. I know if I'm not in like a lay down position, I can't take Benadryl.
Oh,
it's the
Benadryl
same thing.
is the worst. For me, like I took Benadryl one time at summer camp when I was a kid, and I slept through the last 3 days of camp.
Oh shit! Yeah, it's a couple day thing. Yeah. Even the next day, I'm groggy as hell.
Yeah, I woke up in the nurse's office. They're like, "Oh, you're awake." I'm like, "Cool." Like, did I miss everything? Like, I thought like that day, and they're like, "Well, we're kind of packing up to go now." I'm like, "What? I missed the whole like the last 3 fucking days?" And they're like, "Yeah, it was bananas." Well, it was like the night, one full day, and then the next day, which is when we were leaving. So I was like, "This fucking
missed everything."
sucks.
And those were the best pizza parties.
Oh yeah, it was dope. But it was church camp, so it was a lot different.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, so I have some facts
Did you
for
get
you.
it?
So it's not uncommon for men to experience a range of emotions during childbirth, including excitement, anxiety, and even arousal. However, responses can vary widely based on individual feelings, the circumstances of the birth, and the dynamics of the relationship.
Boom.
Bam. See, and I wasn't aroused.
Thank you, Mark.
I appreciate it, Mark. Thank you. I wasn't aroused. I just happened to like. I was just excited. I wasn't even paying attention. I had music playing and like I had the nurses laughing. I'm telling jokes. I was just happy to be there.
Yeah.
And,
But with your son, a little bit more traumatic experience.
Yes, it was wild. And I had to like pull the doctor aside. What's crazy is my wife didn't know any of this while it was happening. But I pulled the doctor aside at one point. I was like, hey, calm the fuck down. And she's like, what? I'm like, I understand that this is number 300 or whatever, however many babies you've fucking delivered. I said, but this is number 2 for us in our lives. Can you stop? I was like, because you're like very angry that the baby's not coming out. And she was like, oh, no. I'm like, no. I can see it in your face. I was like, even the nurses are uncomfortable around you. Calm down.
Yeah.
And like I had it out with her for a little bit. And my wife she had no idea. I didn't tell her that for like months.
Because your wife's sleeping.
Yeah. She didn't do the Benadryl the second time.
Oh, okay.
She didn't do but she did it the first. It was wild.
Yeah, that is wild. Damn. Well, now we know. You're not alone.
I'm not alone.
Yeah.
You see?
That is fucking crazy.
It was wild.
Not even moving on, but to comedy-wise, how often are you traveling and going out on the road?
I don't get to go out on the road that much.
Okay.
I go to go out on the road like maybe 3 times a year now.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't.
Because of the kids and
I'm a stay-at-home dad, right?
Okay.
So, my wife makes the money.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love a role reversal.
Yeah. She's the doctor of physical therapy.
Okay.
And I am a fucking comedian.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
We all got to do what makes us happy.
No,
at the end of the day.
Yeah, I love it.
And it's obviously working for you guys.
It works well.
Yeah. I will say there is nothing better than a man with a sense of humor. I think any woman would say that, like hands down. Like funny is fuckable in every category. I have definitely fucked some 4s just because they were really funny.
Shut up. Shut up.
110.
Oh, 4. You're like, damn it.
Yeah, you regret it afterwards, but
Well, did they make you laugh afterwards?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I'm still friends with a few of them.
Well, then is it really regret?
No,
it's fine.
It's fine. They're funny. Cool. Yeah,
I've been in those situations where I'm like, damn it, you know what? This girl's all right. Like it's cool. Like she's not an 8 or a 9, but I'm cool with it.
You need an 8 or a 9? No, I don't even need an 8 or a 9.
I don't need it.
Okay.
But it's nice to have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I would put my wife up there. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, and as a provider, you got to put at least one more level of hotness on top of it. I mean, to be
like your money makes you a 9
it does.
Or a 10.
Yeah, bring it up there. I mean, she's taking care of the family at this point.
She's good.
So I love that because that tells me that you're obviously attracted to strong women, which is a rarity.
I like when women are upfront. Like I really enjoy. I used to mess around with this girl that told me in college, like, she's like, I just want to fuck. Like, are you cool with that? I'm like, what?
least we know, and it's on the, you know, like, lay it out there.
Of course.
Yeah. I've also gotten to the point, like, just very recently, I will say, that I'm the same way. Like, before we even sleep together, I'm like, this is what I am looking for. And if this is not your plan, exit stage left.
Yes.
Because I am 41 years old. I'm tired of wasting my fucking
I don't have
time.
I don't have time.
And I'm not looking to get married and or have kids. I don't have a lot of free time. So if I'm going to devote my free time to somebody, it's not going to be somebody who's, you know, I don't know.
You're not looking to get
married,
but would you get married?
Would I? That's a really good question. I've always said no because I don't believe in like a traditional marriage stance. But I do want like a life partner.
Right.
And if I got married, it would be an elope situation. It wouldn't be a wedding in a church. It wouldn't be a big to-do.
The church is overrated.
Yeah, and there would be all sorts of prenups. Like just laid out lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the money is a big factor for you.
I don't even know that it's a big factor. I just have been taken advantage of a lot in my life.
Boom.
And
I get it.
Yeah. And I wouldn't want that to be a thing.
I get it.
Anymore.
I think that it's important to know that stuff going in.
Yeah.
Because when you get into those situations and you had no clue, when you're like, oh, I made this decision, fuck. Mm-hmm. What do I do now? Because then you have to work. Then it's like, you don't want to be those people like, well, I'm a quitter, so fuck you, I'm done.
Yeah.
You're like, I have to work this out, so now I got to figure out another way. And that's always hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want to quit anything. I mean, I kind of do, but then again, I don't want to be a quitter. That's how I feel. How do you guys deal with jealousy in the relationship? Because I feel like as a comedian, you're probably getting a lot of women in your DMs. You're probably getting hit on at shows. You're a very attractive man.
Well, thank you. I do get hit on a lot. She's kind of used to it at this point.
Okay.
Like I said, we were dating in college, and in college, I was one of a handful of black dudes on campus.
Oh, where is this college?
Ithaca.
I'm like, where are you going?
Ithaca College.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and again, I know what I look like. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I get that I'm a high commodity, right?
Yes.
Like I understand.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm like, oh, whatever. Like, it's cool. For her, initially, it was uncomfortable. And I'm like, no, I'm with you. It's fine. Mm-hmm. And like, I would go out with her in public and she was like, what? Like, you want to be? And I'm like, are you kidding? Like, yes.
So are you the type of man, I have to ask this then, are you the type of man that likes to show off your woman? Like when the two of you together, like she's the trophy, or is it like you're both the trophy?
I don't, I'm more comfortable with whatever she wants to do.
Okay.
Right? Like if she's like, I would love to, like there's been times where people hadn't met her and they were like, oh, I want to see your girl, man. Like, bring her by or whatever. And I told her, I'm like, hey, come decked out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got to stunt on these motherfuckers a little bit. But like,
yes.
like she bad.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm like, I don't, like, it's cool. Like we could be low key if you want. Mm-hmm. I'm just not you see how I dress and how I am all the time. I'm always on when it comes to fashion and like how I look. Like that's but it's not like something that I look to do. It's just who I am.
Right. So is she kind of the same? Does she's love dressing up?
She's very low key.
Oh, really?
Very low key. Yeah.
I like that. Sometimes you just need a little bit of both, you know?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'm like, hey, like
show up, show out.
Like, you don't have to put on sweatpants today. Yeah. Like, you can spice it up a little bit. But she's very, like, low-key, just like, I just want to chill.
I will say, it is nice to just, I'm not really a sweatpants girl. I'm a yoga pants girl, but I live in those yoga pants, like 90% of my day. It goes from, like, sleeping nude to yoga pants until I have to leave my house for something like this, and then immediately back to yoga pants.
I get it. It's hard to be like that all the time.
It's a comfort thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to be comfortable. I understand.
Yeah, it's a lot. Does comedy, tell me if I'm getting too personal, does comedy affect your sex life in a good way or a bad way at all?
The only thing that it would affect really is the time. Like,
okay.
Because I'm late. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like I'll get home and I'm like, hey, especially for me, when I have an exciting set, I want to fuck.
You're full of energy.
I am. I'm like, yo, let's go.
Yes.
And I get home and she's sleeping. I'm like, this is not okay. Get up. You know, it's not her fault. Like, she's like, what?
She's got to work in the morning.
I got to go to work. It's 2 a.m. What are you doing? I'm like, come on. I'm like, I just had the best son of my life. Get the fuck up. But the timing is the hardest part.
Yeah.
You know, like she doesn't ever get bothered by the jokes I tell and shit like that. And if she does, like she doesn't tell me because I'm like, are you cool with this? And she's like, no, tell that joke. That's funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have kids sleeping in the bedroom still?
No.
The little
God,
one, not even?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. Fuck no. Yeah. I don't know. Like, look, as someone who's training to be a family marriage therapist, I understand that you're supposed to have that moment, but that was a stickler for. I was like, absolutely not.
How long did they stay in your bed?
Oh, they didn't. Never slept in the bed.
Ever?
No,
not even babies.
Like the babies would sleep in the bed like daytime and shit, but like at night, like
bassinets?
They were both very comfortable right next to mom in the bassinet.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, my best friend right now has her 5-year-old is finally sleeping in her own bedroom, but the 5-year-old slept with him until she was like, I want to say 4. And was only because she had another baby and the baby came into the bed and it was like, she's like, I'm a little overcrowded with everybody here. She
Not
was like,
gonna
I'll
happen,
go to my
son.
room. Yeah.
Because if that happens, you're about to see some shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I know. That's
like,
what,
hey.
and it does affect their sex life because
Yes.
she's like, well, we really can't. There's a baby in the bed with us. And I'm like, man. So that's why I always ask, like, babies in, babies out.
Babies out.
Yeah.
Because I'm not stopping. So if you are prepared to be scarred for life, then we're cool with it.
I think there's a certain age where I know it sounds awful, but I'm like, I think it's fine to do in front of them up until they're like, I don't know, maybe like a year? I don't know, old enough to like remember or know, or I don't know.
They remember on a different level. It's like subconscious.
Yeah.
You know, so like it's kind of cool to not do it in front of them at all. But at the
I don't have kids, so I'm not doing it in front of anyone's kids. Let me just reference that.
But at the same time, there's also the aspect of them understanding like, hey, mom and dad do this.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, and they're not weirded out by it. That's because think about it. If you ever ran into your parents having sex, you're like freaked out, like, what the fuck? And mainly a lot of that has to do with the fact that we associate sex with shame.
Yeah.
So you don't think about it in that way. But when you talk to them at a young age and they understand like, hey, this is what parents do, they kind of like, they're like, all right, it's no big deal. And they might not want to see it. Obviously, if they run into, like they walk in your room, they're like, oh my God. But it might not scar them if they're understanding the idea
that this
like,
happens.
This happens. Like, it's okay.
How were your parents with sex towards you growing up?
No.
Not a topic?
My dad was cool. My mom was uber religious.
Okay.
Like to the umpteenth degree. Like it didn't happen.
Sex doesn't happen.
It does. It was like, you don't fucking talk about this fucking stuff. Like it was crazy with my mom. And the one time I walked in on them, it was traumatic.
For you or for them?
For me. Because I was like, oh, you don't fucking do that. You're not allowed to do that. Not the way you talk to me.
Know, right?
Get that fucking out of here. What are you? And like,
how old were you?
Oh, I was 16.
Okay.
And I had to go to work.
Okay.
Or 16, 17. Probably 17.
Okay.
And I was like, look, I got to go to work. This is happening. Like, you were supposed to drop me off. I blacked out and like ran down the stairs, walked out the door, started walking to the local, like we got picked up at this Pathmark and we got bused to work. And like I'm walking like with my eyes wide open, like, oh my God, what the fuck? And my mom, like, I see my mom like pulls up next to me and she's like, get in the car. I'm like, no.
So she knew you caught them. It wasn't
God,
like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like it was a very real moment of like, everyone knows this has been caught. Okay.
And like, there's nothing like hearing your mom moan and you're like, fuck you.
It's embedded in your head for life.
Yes. And you're like, fuck you. I can't believe. And it would, like, again, it wouldn't have been so bad had I, like been coached into that. But my dad was cool. My dad would like give me condoms. Like my dad was very much like, don't bring a bitch home pregnant.
Right.
But my mom was like, you don't even think about sex. And I'm like,
well, I'm already doing that.
I'm already there.
Yeah, we're already in the thinking.
What the fuck?
Wait, were they butt ass naked too?
Butt naked.
Oh,
it was brutal.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, oh, what the hell?
I saw my mom masturbating once. It was rough.
Awesome.
Yeah. It was real rough. Yeah. We weren't supposed to be home that soon. We were with my dad that weekend, and I think my dad dropped us off early, and I was the first kid in the house. Never again. I'll let my brother go in first from here on out.
That's
after you, sir.
It's like, do you would you rather be caught masturbating or having sex?
I don't know. I don't know which. I mean, I have been caught having sex. I don't think I've ever been caught masturbating.
Yeah.
And if I got caught masturbating, it was intentional on my part of like, I'm going to sit here until you
are
notice.
Gonna see this.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh,
I should be there. You should be here.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting the message. I'm getting it now.
Yeah.
But I wasn't before. I apologize. Let me get my pants on.
Yeah.
Yes. I understand.
Well, it sounds like you guys have zero problem keeping your spark alive at this point.
Yeah. Like, I think the hardest part is, I probably wanted a lot more than she does.
I don't know that that's always true. I feel like men think that.
Well, we've had those conversations.
Oh, okay.
So, like,
all right, that's fair.
So there is that. But there was like, in the beginning, it was like, I couldn't keep her off.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, I gotta go to work. And I was still boxing. I'm like, I gotta practice. Like, what the fuck? And she's like, let's do it now.
Well, now she's 2 kids deep, though.
Yeah.
That's a little bit,
I understand.
more exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're out of time.
What?
I know.
That whole time.
I know. It goes so fast. I didn't even get through half the questions.
Go ahead. Give me one more. I feel bad. You spent all this time.
It was a great conversation. I think I got through some of them. Oh, here's a good one. Would you ever want your kids getting into entertainment? And like what line of work? Where do you draw the line?
I wouldn't want them, but I also want them to be happy. Like, I'm like, look, if this is what you want to do, cool. Like my daughter said one time, like, I want to be an actor or whatever. I'm like, all right, just so you know, that's what daddy does. And it's a lot of fucking work.
Yeah.
And they don't understand because they see the finished product. Mm-hmm. That's the hard part with entertainment. Mm-hmm. You see the finished product. You see the Jerry Seinfelds on stage and you're like, oh, I can do that. And you're like, well, there's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. You see Robert Downey Jr. in a Marvel movie or something and you're like, damn, like, I could do that. And it's like, well, that's a lot of work.
Yep.
It takes a long time to get there. So I'm like, if you're happy doing that and understanding all the stuff behind it, then I'm cool.
Yeah.
Any way you want to go.
Yeah, it's so hard though. I will say, especially with comedy. I feel like it's harder than even acting because I feel like comedy, you don't make money until you make money.
Yes.
Like there's just really no in between.
No, it takes a lot to get there. And with comedy you're on your own.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
You're writing on your own. Yeah. You're editing on your own.
Going to shows on your own.
It's fucking brutal, man.
Yeah.
So you need that's why, I loved when my wife would come to shows because then she'd be like, oh no, that was dope.
It's nice to have somebody there and like maybe tell you like a hook to a joke or something,
Yes.
Or even you're right, just to say, hey, I really liked that. I liked how you did that. Like, oh great, I'll keep that,
Yeah.
Didn't like this? Great. Get rid of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was good to have a lot in towards the when my daughter was born, like to have my wife around during that time because I started writing jokes about that whole experience, like my daughter being around, and she was like, "Yes, that perfect."
Yeah.
Or like, "Oh, maybe you could change that," like because she experienced it with me, so she understood like what I was trying to get at. So it was nice to have her around during those times.
And she knows their little personalities and the stories that you're telling.
Absolutely. So now when she hears stories about like she'll hear a new joke that because she doesn't go, she's like, I did not even know you wrote that. And I'm like, yes.
You don't see behind the scenes. Well, thank you, Charles.
Thanks for having me.
This was
I
awesome.
appreciate it.
I learned a lot about you today. So
I know I'm a wild card. I get it.
I love it though. This is a great show. Go ahead and tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at I am Charles Greaves. If you look at the hashtag Stay at Home Dad Comedy, that's me. You can find me on TikTok. If is TikTok still going to be a thing?
Yeah, it's still a thing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm mainly on Instagram anyway, but TikTok, I am Charles Greaves as well. You can check out my website at I am Charles Greaves. what is it? Charles, maybe my website is iamcharlesgreaves.com. But on Instagram and TikTok, it's either I Am Charles Greaves or Charles Greaves Comedy.
I love that you don't know your own handles.
I don't fucking, because you know what? Like, for me, I didn't pay attention. I was just like, here it is. Follow me. And like, I don't have a huge, I don't have a huge following.
We'll tag you in it.
I appreciate it. Yeah. But then people know me, like they'll see me out, like my daughter loves it. Like they'll see me, they'll be like, oh, it's Charles Greaves the comic. And I'm like, do you follow me? Follow me, motherfucker. I need the follows.
Everybody get out there, follow Charles. Really funny guy. Obviously great husband, great father, and good friend.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Until next time, adios.